Sidhani umefika leo ukalenga watu, ukarengia watu, hapana. And I think that when you know that in this journey we need each other, then tuna behave, vile inafaa. We are believers, as the song I played earlier by Audio Adrenaline said. Niko live hapa Facebook Top FM Live, na pale YouTube pia Top FM Live. And it's time for our switch devotion. I'm going to take these 3 minutes I have here just to encourage each other as we start the week. And I've titled this short sharing here, it's time to rebuild. And my brother amepata messages zenu, by the way, asanteni sana. It is time to rebuild, and we look at the book of Nehemiah, and we know that Bishop talked about it. I think pia Jacinta alifundisha Sunday school pale concerning rebuilding, and you can pick a lot of lessons here, from how to deal with opposition, etc. And they said to me, this is Nehemiah chapter 3, or rather the word of Nehemiah son of Hakalia, in the month of Kislev in the 20th year, while I was at the citadel of Susa, Hanani, one of my brothers, came from Judah with some other men, and I questioned them about the Jewish remnant that has survived the exile, and also about Jerusalem. They said to me, those who survived the exile and are back in the province are in great trouble and disgrace. The wall of Jerusalem is broken down, and its gates have been burnt with fire. And says, when I heard these things, I sat down and wept. For some days I mourned and fasted and prayed before the God of heaven. And the burden to rebuild was put upon Nehemiah, and you can read the whole book. And as I said, you can pick a lot of lessons. Unaweza angalia jinsi ya kudeal na kina Sanballat na kina Tobias, hata wale wanakukejeli. When you are building something, it's not easy. Wengine wetu tunafanya nini? Tuna give up in the building. And my thought, even when I was going through the book of Nehemiah, the period in which these walls were down, were broken, you find that wakati mwingine mambo yanaharibika na inakaa like that for a long time, mpaka tunaweza kuwa comfortable. Tunaweza kuwa comfortable. Kuna mahali unapita unaona ruins, and and I'm saying this, I already dealt with whatever that brought into my life. I'm okay, I'm healed. When you go around Rift Valley, kienda mtasa ingine, tunaenda ball areas zingine, and unaona kuna ruin, and you remember, this happened during maybe the post-election violence or this and that. Ruins remind us of bad days. Ruins remind us of when we were troubled, when we were under siege, when things were not okay. You can imagine every time walikuwa wanaona the walls zimeharibika, they had to remember how things were. And for some of us, we still have those things in our hearts. You remember a time when you were happy. You remember a time, when things were, and how does this come through? You unaangalia vile the ruins in your life, the scars in your life. And I kind of feel like, when Nehemiah managed to do this in a record time, by the way, when the walls were built, na ikasimama tena, there was a change of narrative. There was a change even in the history. Kuna wale walikuwa sasa wanaangalia, and generations to come will no longer focus on the ruins, but will focus on, this was rebuilt, right? This is a beautiful wall. There is a wall here that imesimama vizuri. And as I'm saying this, it's time to rebuild. You can end, the history of remembering things because of the ruins that are there. You can say this happened in my family, this has been happening, but I'm rebuilding something, for the sake of those who are coming after you. Itakuanga kama story. Some will look at those walls and imagine kuna wakati hii wall ilikuwa in ruins, and they will not even understand. It will be impossible even to bring your mind into thinking of the walls were in ruins one time because somebody had a burden to rebuild. Can you rebuild something? Tusikae tu tukiangalia ruins. It's time to end our obsession with ruins and scars, and the past that happened. We can rebuild. So with all the lessons that we are learning from the book of Nehemiah, one thing mimi kama mankaris nimeona, na nashukuru Mungu pia kwa kunionesha, ni kwamba kuna vitu ambazo mimi kama mankaris naweza rebuild na isaidie pia generations to come. Hawata focus on zile vitu ambazo mimi nimekuwa nikiona na zinaniweka chini, ama zinanikumbusha sad moments, zinanikumbusha times of when I was under siege or anything. Look at those things in your life and even in your family and say, watoto wangu hawatazungumza like this, watoto wetu hawataangalia like this, watu hii area hawatakuwa wanafikiria like this. You are rebuilding something. May God help you in Jesus.